But even within Christianity, the same tension is there. I mean, I mean, I would fully, clearly take the position that gay and lesbian, bisexual, transgendered people are children of God, and and do the equal treatment of the church, and ought to have equal access to all of its ministries. Now, there are Episcopalians who would say the exact opposite, and they would argue, based on the text of
Yeah.
Scripture,
Yeah.
that ought not to be the case. I can construct an argument based on the text of Scripture that ought to be, but my argument might be a minority position
Yeah.
initially, and it might move toward that consensus eventually, which I think in the Episcopal Church is sort of happening. That's not happening in the Anglican Communion, but worldwide, but certainly in the U.S. Episcopal Church, that's the case. And I think that's part of our tradition where sometimes you have to recognize the prophet as the prophet, like Ezekiel. Whether they hear or refuse to hear, at least they'll know a prophet's been in the middle of them. Sometimes the prophet just has to keep saying it, and if it is of God, it will last, and a consensus will form around it, and then the religious tradition will reform itself around that. If it's not of God, it won't last.